Welcome to The Next. I'm Alana Flynn.
And I'm Jackson Kurtz, and we are back from a much-needed fall break and ready to bring you the latest in news and entertainment. But Alana, how was your fall break?
It was amazing. I spent some much-needed family time at home and away from Lawrence. How was yours?
We all needed that. I was in New York. I went to this media conference. It was pretty cool. I enjoyed it myself.
That sounds great. Coming up, a new arrest made in the Massachusetts street shooting, a protest at our local Burger King, and a declining African-American population in Lawrence.
Plus more revelations in the Harvey Weinstein case. A rapper ties the knot and the week's viral stories.
All that and more starting now on The Next. We're going to catch you up on the latest in Lawrence, but first, Warren is going to give you a preview of what's coming up in weather. Warren?
Thanks, Alana. Beautiful day here in Lawrence, Kansas today. Currently 77 degrees out there with mostly sunny skies. That wind has picked up, though, this afternoon. Very breezy out there, 15 to 20 miles per hour from the south, gusting up to 25. So, beautiful day, a little on the windy side. Nothing too bad out there. Our Jayhawks are traveling all over the country this weekend for some sports. Volleyball heading out to Lubbock, 80 degrees tomorrow for their game against Texas Tech. KU heading to TCU, 81 for their game at kickoff tomorrow. We are watching for a chance for some storms. Soccer tonight is going to be in Oklahoma, 75 with a chance for some storms as well. Now golf, they're heading out to South Carolina for their invitational on Sunday. Looking like we're going to watch a chance for some storms for them as well. So quite a bit of precipitation in the southern half of the country. Now for us here in Lawrence, Kansas, we are expecting some rain as well, but I'll have a much more detailed forecast for you coming up.
U.S. Marshals arrested a Topeka man they say is a shooter in the Mass Street murders. They arrested 20-year-old Anthony LaRon Roberts Jr. in Kansas City, Missouri. Roberts waived extradition, so he'll be coming home to Douglas County to face both first and second-degree murder charges. It was early on the morning of October 1st at 11th and Massachusetts Street when Leah Brown, Colin Henderson, and Tremel Dean died from gunfire. The Burger King on 6th and Wakarusa became the center of a race protest Wednesday, the result of a week of social media discoveries and racist comments. KUJH reporter Lauren Davidson has the timeline.
The franchise owner says it all started with shift manager Cindy Anderson posting this video on Snapchat. An African-American employee of hers put the video on his Facebook to show what he called racism. Screen grabs from Anderson's wall and that of her boyfriend Tucker Meyer show they doubled down, saying he keeps rope in his truck to hang black people, among other comments. Ganesh Incorporated owns the franchise. They say the employee reported Anderson to the general manager on Monday. They called in on Tuesday to see if Anderson would be there. The GM reportedly said she would be. The employee said he wouldn't go into work if she was there. The GM interpreted this as quitting and asked him to turn in his uniform. Ganesh says that's the point. The GM reported this to them. On Wednesday, Ganesh came to Lawrence to investigate, saying that's when Anderson resigned. By then, the Snapchat and Facebook grabs had started to go viral, and later that night, there was a 3-hour protest in the parking lot. Ganesh promised the results within 24 hours and told Thursday's crowd they finished the investigation and fired the GM for not reporting the incident immediately.
And we did not follow the protocol. And because we didn't, what happened was we had an employee that was at risk, that felt uncomfortable. It's our responsibility to make sure all of our employees feel comfortable coming to work and feel safe and comfortable while they're at work.
The employee who reported Anderson is now back at work. One of the protest organizers says Ganesh needs to take a closer look at their training.
Well, that policy was in place when they hired the manager that did all this. So that's when you know things need to change, because obviously that policy either wasn't strong enough or that manager didn't understand the policy, he wasn't aware of it, he didn't sign somewhere.
Ganesh says they've now hired an expert to review their current policies to make sure all employees feel safe at work. Reporting from Lawrence, Lauren Davidson, KUJH News.
We went to the Facebook pages to try and contact Anderson and Meyer for comment. All their social media profiles are now gone, so we had no way to connect. KU students and Lawrence High School students are one step closer to having a safer route for crossing on 19th in Iowa. A new underpass is the project that the city is planning for the intersection. The federal government required a 20% local match before committing any money. The city's Transportation Commission asked KU to help because members feel that the underpass is a major benefit to students. The City Commission said on Tuesday they got a letter from KU committing $200,000, that's half of the local cost. Now that the $400,000 is committed, the city says it can start designing. The total cost of the project will be around $1.6 million. A decrease in Lawrence's black population has started to leave empty seats at a local AME church. A St. Luke African Methodist Episcopal pastor says when they first opened, there were about 250 people each week, but now they only see 40 to 50 people. This reflects what CensusViewer.com collected from the 2010 census, saying the black population in Lawrence has decreased 3.5% since 2010. The pastor also says the numbers are down because younger people in Lawrence are leaving town once they're done with college.
So I believe that that's one of the biggest reasons that you see the decrease in church population or attendance is with younger people in communities such as Lawrence. It's kind of like, I'm out of...
American Fact Finder says the 2015 black population in Lawrence was 4,126 people. Kansans were shocked when a 16-year-old high school student announced his run for governor in August. And well, now that number is at 4 teenagers running for Kansas governor. That's right, the candidates announced each of their platforms at a forum at Lawrence Free State on Thursday. Although the 4 candidates are running on different platforms, each of their campaigns focuses on issues affecting the youth and education in Kansas. Organizers of the event say their goal was to inspire students to participate in civic engagement. We're going to take a quick break, but afterwards we have Jackson with the latest in the entertainment world. Stay with us.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
So good to see you guys. So, what's up?
Oh, we finally bought a place.
Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Is it good?
Oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Where you go to college makes a statement about you. This place will become a part of you, your identity for life. The University of Kansas, a great place to be you.
Welcome back to the next. There was a good amount of entertainment news over our absence, mostly bad news, but there was a marriage, funny tweets, and much, much more that we'll get to. More women are identifying themselves as victims of sexual harassment and assault by Hollywood mogul Harvey Weinstein. In a New York Times op-ed piece, actress Lupita Nyong'o is the most recent woman who accuses Weinstein of sexual harassment, saying in the piece she was part of the growing community dealing with harassment by Harvey Weinstein. The Wobsters have officially tied the knot. Gucci Mane and KUJH-TV were married Tuesday evening at the Four Seasons in Miami. Mr. and Mrs. Davis were accompanied by some notable guests, including Diddy, Big Sean, and Rick Ross. And yes, Rick Ross is holding a Wingstop medium-sized cup. The marriage was so extravagant they used a sword to cut the $75,000 cake. That's goals. In case you forgot, Chance the Rapper won 3 Grammys this past year, including one for Best New Artist. He recently received awards in the mail and he had some help unpackaging them. Chance's little girl helped him, and as you can see, she is very excited to support her dad. Coming up, I will give you the latest happenings in the Twitter sphere and what went viral. Stay with us.
Don't worry, the 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
This political year has been bizarre, but rumors that spawned this week a whole new type of weird. Twitter users speculated that the First Lady standing behind President Donald Trump last week wasn't actually the First Lady, but was an imposter, a fake Melania. The Twitterverse was quick to point out the differences between Melania and the woman next to Trump, and boy were they good. And so the theory is Melania Trump has a body double. Therapist. I'm just a construct for a meme. You can't afford a real therapist. So true. I need a therapist. I can't deal with all this fake news. It's harming American democracy. Twitter. Melania Trump has a body double. This is a case for the FBI. Crazy. The East Wing dismissed the falsehood, saying that in fact the woman was indeed Melania Trump. In other Twilight Zone news, a Republican senator tweeted a thread of how he accidentally spilled Dr. Pepper on President Senator Ted Cruz. Senator Cruz responded with an ode to the rumor that he is the infamous Zodiac killer. And there it is, confirmation that Ted Cruz is the Zodiac. I'm kidding. They still never caught that guy, by the way. Really creepy. And finally, for most students, they know what they got on their midterms, but for Taiwan Jones, he has no idea. This gentleman tweeted this. This professor graded tests next to me at the whole flight. If there's a Taiwan Jones at Howard, boy, you failed out of the midterm. That's the worst feeling. Now, if I personally saw that, I would message every single professor asking them how I did, because the entire internet knows how I did. Awful. Well, that's all in entertainment. After the break, I'll give you a behind-the-scenes look at how KU's favorite coffee is made. Warren will have weather and what's coming up this weekend. Stick around.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
So good to see you guys. So, what's up?
Oh, we finally bought a place.
Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Is it good?
Oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Where you go to college makes a statement about you. This place will become a part of you, your identity for life. The University of Kansas, a great place to be you.
What do the Eldridge Hotel, Sigma Nu Fraternity, and Corbin Hall all have in common? Some people say these places are haunted. The old governor's mansion is where Sigma Nu now lives. Folklore says in the 1920s a maid committed suicide and her ghost roams the halls to this day. The Eldridge Hotel's story centers on room 506, where some say the original owner still resides and makes strange noises. A KU librarian gathered information about many of Lawrence's ghost stories to tell people about the town's haunted history.
What ultimately matters is that these ghost stories allow local history, local folklore, and local mythology to be preserved and passed down from generation to generation in a fun way so that people want to know more about history.
Thomas's book is called Haunted Lawrence, and he'll lead a discussion about these types of stories at the Watson Library at 2:30 Halloween afternoon. What does it take to get a good cup of coffee around here? Most students think it's as simple as going to the underground, but as Jackson Kurtz tells us, it's a much longer process than that.
Joe's day starts early.
Yeah, usually around like 5 in the morning. When I get off work, I get a cup of coffee and sit down at the library and do my homework.
But this is Ivan, not Joe. This is Joe, a cup of coffee, whose day began 24 hours ago here at the roastery in Kansas City.
This is our factory, or our plant, roasting facility. All of our processes here at the plant.
Craig Park is the first one to know Joe in the hours of the morning.
These are green beans, unroasted beans.
Joe and his fellow beans had no short journey. They come from Brazil, Mexico, and 9 other countries. And now they're ready for some heat.
These are called Loring roasters. They're air roasters. Coffee is roasted primarily by hot air that's circulating through the drum.
Then it's time to chill.
It'll drop into the cooling tray. These fins will spin around and cool air will come up through the tray.
Don't be fooled by the trash cans. They're actually the way workers haul the beans up a couple of stairs and dump them for final portioning and sealing.
This plastic piece there that holds it shut. So that's all done by hand. And then after that, it will package up with the rest of the coffee in its order and shipped out. I mean, what you see here is 2% of the whole picture. It's a lot. It's pretty cool.
Joe's journey doesn't end here. He keeps on going for one heck of a ride. You might think of Nick Pasley as Joe's travel agent or chauffeur. But Joe's itinerary isn't his only one.
I think today we probably have 20. We do have a guy doing 50 today. So it just kind of varies on
50 deliveries?
50 deliveries. We do a little driving today.
Nick's not kidding. We go all around the Kansas City metro, making sure Kansans and Missourians are properly caffeinated. But there was one stop we weren't expecting, courtesy of KC's finest. We sit and wait.
All right, no violations were found?
And after a quick signature, we're back on the road. 40 miles of road later, we've made it to Jayhawk country.
We've got Wesco, then we got the Jabrew Center, the commissary cold here.
And we have Anschutz's Library, the coffee station where we first encountered Joe. Roastery barista Abby Hamilton takes it from here.
At 7, I open the register, I start making the coffee, set everything up. We get an order around 9 o'clock every morning. It'll usually have the coffee that we have for our drip coffee along with bags of espresso.
For Abby, Joe's someone special.
Coffee is fun and cool. It's like the reason I work here.
And finally, we are back to where we first met Joe and Ivan. In Ivan's behavioral science homework, which is due pretty soon.
Kind of wakes me up and gets me motivated to, actually do work in class and study well. I'm thankful it's there.
Say that. As am I in my Spanish midterm. On campus, Jackson Kurtz, KUJH News.
And what's the most popular coffee blend on campus? The roastery says it sells more of the Crimson Brew here at KU than any other type. There's a lot of athletic events going on this weekend. Here's the Playmakers with more.
It is the Kansas rowing team that splashes into this weekend and their season this Sunday as they kick off their Fall 2017 campaign with the annual Jayhawk Jamboree. This afternoon spectacle showcases both men's and women's teams from around the conference and the region and gives fans their first glimpse of the Jayhawks' new squad for this fall. Headlining the Jamboree last year for Kansas on the water was a pair of first-place finishes in open pair, double, and singles races and the Novice 4 race, but the team graduated 11 seniors and 2 coxswains from last year and will look to the remaining core of athletes to compete this season. Festivities also include live music, food vendors, entertainment for kids, and performances by the KU Spirit Squad. Last year, the Jamboree hosted over 9,000 fans to Bircham Park, and festivities begin Sunday at 11 a.m. And as men's basketball prepares to tip off their season following a successful late night in the Fog that showcased some of Kansas's best and brightest and youngest stars on the court, fans got a peek at what to expect when Kansas takes on Mizzou in a border war scrimmage that will raise money for hurricane relief. In his press conference last week, head coach Bill Self made it clear he was excited to not only see his team back in action, but more importantly was looking forward to the driving factor behind this upcoming exhibition.
My whole thinking when I called Kwanzaa, it didn't have anything to do with us wanting to play Mizzou. It had everything to do with how can we send the most money to those victims.
What sort of dollars do you think you'll raise?
Certainly plan on north of $1 million.
With a sold-out Sprint Center crowd behind both teams in this charity event, the exhibition will be streamed online for a $40 fee in an effort to reach the $1 million goal jointly set by both schools. While this will be the first time the two schools have competed in basketball since 2012, Self said it is the most anticipated exhibition game in the history of exhibition games and could potentially rekindle the border war rivalry. Looking ahead to this weekend, tennis and swim and dive compete at the ITA regionals and the SDMSU double duel. Soccer takes on Oklahoma after their recent victory over undefeated Texas. Saturday is busy with tennis and swim and dive competing again. Football travels down to Texas to take on TCU, and volleyball hosts Texas Tech here in Lawrence. And on Sunday, it's busy. Tennis wraps up the ITA regionals. Women's golf is in day one, rowing the Jayhawk Jamboree. Soccer at Oklahoma State, and men's basketball, the charity scrimmage against Mizzou.
North Lawrence was hit hard with major storms last Saturday. Here's a look at the damage and how it was fixed.
Now the car's got headlights going up toward the tree line, and my taillights are up in the tree line.
Dozens of people in North Lawrence lost power during Saturday's storm, but Steve Drake lost his car.
We heard a big snap, boom, looked out there and we seen the utility pole across the street, that's what we thought it was. As the storm died down, we seen what was left of the car. Basically smashed right in the middle. Don't are real cheap.
That night, Steve was running his house off of a generator after dozens of power lines were snapped under fallen trees, some left hanging in midair. The road next to his house was completely blocked, not by fallen trees, but by traffic, unable to get past a flooded section of North 2nd Street. Looking at it now, it's almost like nothing ever happened.
Here at the Lawrence Fire Department, I spoke with Division Chief James King, who helped coordinate emergency crews Saturday night. He says that recovery from the storms was a team effort.
Oftentimes, the utility companies will come in behind us, working through the night, because they don't wait until daylight to do their work. As soon as things are rendered safe, they come back and they start making more permanent repairs.
Because of this, roads are clear, streets are clean, and power is back on.
With more storms looming in the forecast, King had a few ideas that can help keep you safe next time there's severe weather.
In being aware of how fast the weather can change and how quickly some of these fronts can move in is is staying indoors or staying in an area that's safe.
For KUJH News, this is Grant Stevens.
Chief King also says to stay away from showers and bathtubs during lightning and away from windows and doors during strong wind. And all the speak of storms has me nervous for the weekend's forecast. What's the weather like today, Warren, and what should we expect for the weekend?
Thanks, Alana. So I'll get to that here in just a second, but it really didn't feel like fall today. As we inch further and further, though, into the fall season, those leaves will continue to change. So our peak foliage here in Lawrence will be just before Halloween, so we have a few weeks of beautiful leaves to look at. So regionally, 80 Manhattan, 77 here in Lawrence, 79 in Emporia. So definitely pretty mild for this time of year. So to show you, average usually this time of year 67 degrees. We were up to 77 today, and also our record low at 25. Thankfully, we are not going to come even close to that tonight, but it's crazy because it's not going to be here before we know it. If you're heading out Friday night, beautiful evening, 76 at 5, and we will drop off pretty nicely on into tonight into the mid-60s. So if you're coming home, you know, whatever you're doing tonight should be beautiful. Your Saturday shenanigans. I would plan your shenanigans for the morning because we are expecting definitely a chance for some storms in the afternoon. Definitely after 1 p.m. we can see those rain chances start to increase on in through the evening. So some of those storms could even be severe. We are in this slight severe risk for tomorrow here in Lawrence. So definitely keep your eyes peeled. We are going to see some storms tomorrow, later on tomorrow. So like I said, 80% chance, but we do cool off nicely, 70 degrees on Sunday, and on into Tuesday, we can see a little bit of a cold front moving in to a little more average temperatures for this time of year, back into the low 60s or so. So great week ahead, really looking forward to it.
Awesome. Even if you have already visited the pumpkin patch this fall, the Lawrence Community Orchard is still open for harvest.
We have a space where anybody can come in, enjoy the space, go for a walk, bring their kids, and you can go and pick ripe fruit from trees and taste it.
The orchard sits on 1/3 of an acre at 830 Garfield Street and has more than 20 species of productive plants. They're maintained primarily through the participation of the community and volunteer events once a month during the spring, summer, and fall. If you are interested in helping break down materials, pull weeds, move mulch, sort produce, and assist with demonstrations, Thursday, November 11th will be the last group event of the year. The orchard is open year-round from dawn to dusk. That sounds pretty fun. I didn't even know we had one here, honestly.
I didn't know either, but orchards remind me of the Lewisburg Cider Mill, and I love their cider. It's just great this time of year.
They have great donuts, too.
And the donuts. Oh, yeah.
Definitely something you should look at is exactly that. But the weather will be nice enough that Lawrence has so many things going on, it will make you want to go out and do anything. And sports this weekend, a lot going on. KU versus Mizzou. The rivalry is back. It's a charity game, basketball game, Sunday, October 22nd at 3 p.m. But unfortunately, the tickets sold out, and they sold out quick in like 10 seconds. You can live stream the event at showdownforrelief.com for $40. That's a big one. You guys want to watch the game?
Oh, absolutely. Are you kidding me? That's
Yes.
going to be the highlight of my month.
I'm going. I would not miss that.
Absolutely. Also tonight, a popular comedian coming right to Lawrence. Hannibal Buress will be performing stand-up tonight at the Lawrence Arts Center. Doors open at 7. Show will most likely start at 8. And sorry about this one too, but tickets are also completely sold out.
Man, people in Lawrence are just getting their hands on any tickets they can get. But we have a good natural phenomenon coming out. There's going to be a meteor shower visible all weekend. The Orion meteor shower happens annually as the Earth passes through the debris from Halley's Comet. It will be mostly visible Saturday night and will follow into Sunday morning. The weather's going to be nice, so grab a blanket and go stargazing.
If you step outside at 11 p.m. tonight, that's when you'll actually be able to start seeing it. So I'm going to leave wherever I'm at and look towards the sky because I am so excited. I love meteor showers.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely, Warren. Do you?
I do. I'm not an astronomer, but you know, I still enjoy that.
All right, well, that's all for us here at The Next. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here.